Hello again. In this video we will talk about fillet and chamfer in 3D. Let's start with a sketch on the top. And now draw these two squares. Now set all these to equal. And then give it the following dimension. Now extrude these to 100. Then hit OK. Let's start with fillet. You can access it from here. Now make sure you select the first type. Then simply you only need to select edges like this. The radius value here is 10 millimeters, and here you have full preview so you can see the result before you finish the command. You can increase this. So let's keep it with 10. You can select multiple entities. Now rotate the view and try to select this. You will have this small menu here, so it will help you to select more than one edge at a time. Like if you select this, see what happens. This one was selected too. Now clear the selection and again select this edge. Now you can select all these together, the four corners, or simply clear the selection again and click here, and then you can select all the edges at once. Then hit OK. As you can see, we have this shape. Suppress this feature and select fillet again. You can also select faces like this. Sorry, I selected an edge here, but here you can select faces and it will fillet all the edges like this. Now suppress this feature and select fillet again. Here's a nice type I would like to talk about, which is full round fillet. So in this case, as you can see, you need to select three faces. It's simple. Start here, 1, then click here, 2, then click here, 3. Then the radius will be automatically calculated, and the result, you will have tangency here, and you will have a tangency here, and this shape will form half a cylinder. If you look at this section here, this will be half a circle. Now I will click the space bar and go to that view. Then let's try to calculate this. If you draw a line here, it will snap at this point, and as you can see, the line goes horizontal to the center point of the arc, which means we are talking about half a circle. Now exit this sketch and let's talk about the last type. Select fillet again, and this time select variable size fillet. Now select this edge, for example, and here as you can see you have V1 and V2. You need to insert two values of the radius. So select V1 and set this value to 25, and so then select V2 and let it be 5. So as you can see, we will start with 25 here and we will end with 5. And you also can define the number of the segments here. So let's say I need 10, 7, 16, any number you want, and the more instances you have, the smoother the shape is. If we say let's have only 2 instances, it will be something like this. Also you can choose this option, smooth transition, like between these values you will have a smooth transition and there's a straight transition. I'll show you the difference now. So let's set this with 25 to 5, 2 segments with a smooth transition, and on the other side here let's select fillet again and select this side, and this time I want V1 to be 25, the same, and I want V2 to be 5. Notice that they are reversed, so what you can do here is that you can insert the value of V2 to 25 and V1 to be 5. And this time I want it to be 2 here and a straight transition. Then hit OK. You can tell the difference here. As you can see, we have some kind of curve here, and here we go straight from this radius up to this radius. So for now, that's all you need to know about fillet. And now let's talk about chamfer. So open this small arrow here and go to chamfer. We will go with the first option here, angle distance. So simply you can select an edge like this, and as you can see, we have this, let's say 15 with 45 degrees angle. It's almost the same as we did in the sketch environment, but the difference here is that we use edges. Now you can change this angle, as you know. So let's hit OK. Now select it again, and this time we have this option distance. So instead of defining an angle, we can define only distances. So select this edge, and we have the option of symmetric. So select asymmetric here and define 2 distances instead of 1, like this. Now select these 2 features and suppress them, and select again chamfer. It's the same as in fillet. You can select the whole face like this. Okay, now suppress this feature again, select chamfer again, and this time we have a very nice option, select vertex. You can use this with vertices, like if you select this point here, you will get this chamfer. As you can tell here, we have to define 3 distances, x, y, and z. So for D1, if you increase it, you can go this way. For D2, you can go this way. And for D3, you can go this way. And you can make them all equal by setting this option here. That's it for chamfer and fillet. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Hello again. In this video we will talk about rib feature. To start a sketch on the front plane and draw this L shape and give it the following relations and dimensions. Now extrude this. Then as you can see, automatically we have thin feature activated since we have an open contour, and I want the thickness to be 10 and keep the thickness outward. Like, you can double check this way, have this view, then this is inward and this is outward, and let this value be 100 and mid plane, then hit OK. Now we need to define a rib. Rib works as a stiffener that supports this body. Like if you have some force acting here, it will cause this part to be bent this way, so we will have something here like to support it. Now select rib, and as you can see, SolidWorks waits for you to create a sketch before you start the rib feature. So you can select rib, then create the sketch, or you can create the sketch, then go to rib feature. For now, select this face, or select the front, then normal, and now draw a line like this. Finish the sketch, and this will take you to this menu here. As you can see, we have 3 options here. The first one is both sides. So let's say you want to create a rib with the width of 40 millimeters. So this will take 20 millimeters to the right and 20 millimeters to the left. You can have both sides too, like you can take everything to the left, or you can everything to the right. So let's set this to 20, and let's keep this here, both sides. And now you have this arrow here, which indicates the side of the material, which is okay in our case. Sometimes it's not. The only thing you need to do is to flip this arrow, or simply you can change options from here. But in the end, this is the view you want, so you can create the feature. Now hit OK. As you can see, we have this rib. Now edit the feature, and we have a very nice option here, which is draft. Activate a draft, and as you can see, we will draft outward, and then you can increase the angle, then hit OK. So we have this material filled here with 20 degrees angle. I recommend you to use rib feature only and only if you will create some draft like this, because if you need to create this draft using extrude feature, it will take a lot of steps and creating different planes. So in this case, it's okay to use this feature. Otherwise, I don't recommend you to use rib, because it doesn't give you the flexibility to use the location of your rib. Like, let's say I want to create a rib 50 or let's say 20 millimeters from this face. So as you can see here, you cannot control it. Whenever you have your sketch, you can go to the left, to the right, or on both sides, and that's it. So instead of this, suppress this feature, start a sketch on this face, then draw a triangle, then finish the sketch, and this time select extrude. Now, as we earlier learned here, the good thing about extrude, you can control the location of this rib. Like, you can set offset here, and then let's say I want this to start 20 millimeters away here. But as you can see, when you're creating ribs in extrude feature, you have more flexibility to do it. And also you can have some draft here, but as you can see now, the draft is different from the one we saw in rib feature. So this is the advantage of using rib feature. And if you don't need to have a draft as the one we saw earlier, I recommend to use extrude boss. So now that was it for rib feature. Next we will talk about shell. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next video. Hello again. Before we proceed, I want to add something to the rib feature, is that the shape is not all the time limited to this shape. Like, let's start a sketch here, and this time draw an arc, but make sure to snap with these points, then finish, and now select rib. As you can see, we need to flip this direction, and then we need, because we have some material outside here, so let's flip this, and now hit OK. So as you can tell, you can use many shapes. So now I want to suppress this feature, and I want to suppress this one, and this time I want to start here in the middle, and I will draw something like this. Now set this arc to be construction geometry, and then select rib feature. The direction is correct, then hit OK. And as we know, you can add the draft now. So don't limit yourself when using rib to the triangle shape. You can use any other shape you want. So that's it for rib. Now suppress this feature and suppress this one. Start a sketch on the top plane and draw a square. And give it the following dimensions. Then extrude it by 50, let's say. Now let's see how can we create shell feature. Shell is very easy. It removes material from the sides you select and make the part empty from inside. So select shell here, and as you can see, you need to define the thickness. So let's end up with 5 millimeters thickness, and then select this face, then hit OK. Now, as you can see, this face was removed, and we have everything inside removed, and we get this thickness, which is 5 millimeters, as we defined. In some cases, you may need to remove more than one face. So let's say if you select this, you can select this too, and check the show preview, so you can see the geometry left. Then hit OK. Again, with this face. Now, drag this here and try to draw something else. I want another circle here, something like this, and extrude it. Now, try to shell it. If you use this face, you will have everything empty. How can you make sure? You can select hidden lines visible, and you can see that we have an empty space inside. Or simply you can select the section view, and from here you can choose the plane, and now you can tell that it's empty from inside. Exit the section view. Now suppress this feature, and let's have some extruded cut here. Draw a corner rectangle, something like this. Now extrude cut and select through all. Now select shell and reduce the thickness to 1 millimeter, and then select this face. Again, edit the feature and select this face. You can tell it's empty from inside, and now select this face too. So this is how you can use this feature. Imagine that you draw a liquid bottle, and after you finish you want it to be empty from inside, so you can use this feature. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Hello again. In this video we will talk about draft feature. To start a sketch on the top and draw a square. Then extrude it with 100. Now from the ribbon you can find drafts. Here you have two options, draft expert and manual. Let's stick to the manual now. The first type is natural plane. So this will be our natural plane, and we need to select faces to be drafted. For now, select these faces and let's see what will happen. So this face will be fixed and these faces will be drafted, and here you can define the angle value. Now this arrow defines the direction, so this means these faces will be drafted outward as if they will be pulled this way. So if you preview this, you can see the result. Now let's say we want to reverse this direction. We can do it from here, and let's see. As you can see now, the result is different. So basically we only need to define three things. The first thing is the natural plane, which is this one. this will stay the same, but it defines the direction of the draft and the faces to be drafted. So, and finally, for sure, the angle. Now hit OK, and this is what we got. Now suppress this feature and go again to draft. Now select this one as the natural plane, and this time I only want you to select two faces with the angle kept 20. So as you can see, we only drafted two faces, so you can select as many faces as you want. Now suppress this feature again, and now we will talk about something different. For now, I want you to start a sketch on this face and draw a line with some angle without defining any dimensions for now. But make sure for the line to be coincident here and coincident here. Now we have a very nice tool here. It's called Split Line. Select Split Line. Now, as you can see, we need to define two things, the sketch and the faces. So for now, keep this option, projection, select this sketch, and for the faces, select these faces. Then hit OK. As you can see now, we have like two parts. Actually, they are not two, but we have something we call split line. Like this part can be divided now, and SolidWorks can recognize these edges now. Now select a draft again, and this time we will go with parting line option here. So now we need to define the direction of pull will be this direction, and as you can see, we need to define the parting lines. So now I want these to be my parting lines. So as you can tell, the direction is upward and the pull direction is upward. Let's see the result. So we only changed the part from the parting line and above. If we reverse the direction of pull, let's see the result. We have a reversed draft. Now let's go back and let's talk about these arrows here. So once these arrows pointing upwards, we drafted the upper part. So when they point downward, we will draft the lower part. So you can flip these, like as you can see, if I click here, so we are talking about this one, you can say other face. Now it points down, and you can do the same for the rest. So select these with Control and then click other. Now all of them point downwards, and let's see the result. So now the upper part is fixed and the lower part is drafted. You can reverse the pull now here, and as you can see, hit OK. This feature is very important, especially for people who work in plastic industry. So it's very important to be able to deal with it and to know the difference between these types. For now, that's all we need to know about the draft. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Hello again. In this video, we will talk about wrap feature. To start a sketch on the top and sketch a circle. And extrude it to 100. Then start a new sketch on the front and select normal 2. Now we will sketch a text. To sketch a text, select text here from the ribbon and write the text you want. As you can see, once you write here, you will have your text here. Click anywhere to move the text around. Now let's change the size. So remove this check here and go to font, and let's set this to 20, for example, or I think we should increase it more. Let's say 27. Now place your text somewhere here, then finish the sketch. What wrap tool does is that it will take this sketch now and it will stick it to this cylindrical surface. then we will choose whether to extrude both this or to cut some material from this cylinder, or only to have like a new surface. Now select RAB from here, then open this menu here and select the sketch we did. Now, as you can see, we still need to select the face of RAB, so select this face, and as you can see, we have it written here on this face now. Now let's see these options. The first option, as you can tell, is emboss, which means we will have extra material now. So let's set this to 10, and now finish. As you can see, we have it written here. Now edit the definition of this feature, and this time select deboss, and it will be the opposite. Set this value to 5, and then hit OK. Now as you can see, it's engraved inside. And finally, edit this feature, and this time select the last option, and hit OK. As you can see, we didn't added material or took off material out of this cylinder. Here what we call a parallel cam. As you can see, we have a cylinder and we have this engraving here. So let's try to do something similar. We have the cylinder, and now go to evaluate, go to measure, and this time just select this edge. It may happen that you won't have this window here, so if you have it this way, just click this arrow. You can have the value of the length and the diameter. So the diameter here is 100 millimeters. So now we know that the diameter is 100 millimeters. So start a sketch on the front and start a center line here. Then draw another center line somewhere here and define a distance between them. Now this distance should be equal, insert equal from your keyboard, then 100 multiplied by 3.14, which is pi. It's important to type pi, not 3.14, to avoid any approximation. So hit OK, and now you're done with this. Now we are ready to sketch the path, so let's start with a line here. Then pick a subline and do something like this. Then pick line again. And it's very important to have this point and this point to be horizontal. I want this line to be horizontal too. I want to have some tangency here and some tangency here. After that, select offset entities, set this value to 10, and select chain, and select these, and make sure to select cap ends and lines. This will close our sketch. Now, finish, select the sketch from here, go to features, and select wrap again. Now, select this face. We want to engrave this, so we will select deboss, and set this value to 4, for example, then finish. You can apply some fillets if you wish, so go to fillet, make sure you select the first type, and then select this edge, and this edge, for example, and so on. This was a quick application on how to use wrap feature to draw this cam. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next video. Hello again. In this video we will see a quick practice on how to use wrap feature in casing design. As you can tell, this is a case of a part or a small machine, and we have these wraps inside. So now our task will be how to use wrap tool to create these wraps here. So go to SolidWorks and start a sketch on the top plane, sketch a rectangle, and give it the following dimensions. Then extrude it to 20 millimeters. Then shell and set this value to 3 millimeters and select this face. Now start a sketch on this face, and here draw a circle and set it tangent to this line and tangent to this line, and set this diameter to 12. And now convert entities, convert this line and this line, trim entities, trim this part in addition to this part. Now draw another circle here and give it the following dimension. After that, draw two center lines, one here and the other one is here. And now select mirror entities, select these and mirror them about this center line. After that, mirror entities again, select these, and this time mirror them about this center line. After finishing this, extrude, and now you need to select contours. So select this one, this one, this one, and this one. Then select through all and OK. After that, start a sketch on this face. Now we need a midpoint line here, and we need another midpoint line here. Now draw a line, and I want this line to be in the middle of this line. So here's a good trick. Select midpoint line, start here and draw it up to here. Then set this point to be coincident with this line and make sure this is horizontal. This way you'll make sure that this line lies in the middle. Let's double check this. So this distance is 48.5 and this should be the same. Now don't forget to set this to a construction geometry. Then when it snaps to the quadrant point, draw a line up to here, and then from this point draw a line up to this point, drag it, then select this point with this line and set them to be coincident. And now mirror entities, I want to mirror this line about this line. Then mirror entities again, and I want this line, this line, this line, and this to be mirrored about this line. Then hit OK and finish the sketch. Now when the sketch is selected, select Reb. Set this value to 2.5 and make sure it's both sides, and check the material direction, which is downwards. Then finish the command. As you can see, we just created all the ribs at once. This is how we can create ribs using Rib tool for casing design. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Hello again. In this video we will make a 3D model of this bottle. We have this image and we have two views. So now we will insert these two views into SolidWorks and we will use them as guides to create this bottle. Now go to SolidWorks and start a sketch on the front. From here, make sure you select Commands, then select Sketch, Picture. Now select the first image. Now try to drag it to the origin, and don't worry about scaling it for now. Should be something like this. Now go to Full Image and reduce the transparency. Make it 0.75 for example, then hit OK. Now finish the sketch. And now we need the right plane. Select the right plane and start a sketch there. And now insert the second image. Now do the same, drag it until it's in the middle, something like this. And you can double check the location by rotating the view. You can compare it with the one we have already. And as you can see, it's still not exactly in the middle here, because this distance is bigger than this one. So let's try to drag it a little bit more. It should be something like this. Now set the transparency to 0.75, then hit OK and finish the sketch. Now as you can see, we have the two pictures here. Now let's go to the first sketch and edit it. Select midpoint line and start from the origin here up to somewhere here. Then give this a length. Now pick a spline and start drawing something very close to the image we have. Now draw a center line and mirror this spline about it. Then make sure all these are horizontal. Now finish the sketch. Then go to the other sketch and edit it. Now again, select midpoint line and start here. Then give it a dimension. Now pick a subline and do the same. Now convert this entity, but don't forget to turn it into a construction geometry. And don't forget to turn this one into a construction geometry too. Now mirror this subline about this line, and then set all these to be horizontal. Then finish the sketch. Now go back again to the first sketch and make sure that this line is a construction geometry. Now we only have 4 curves. Now select the top plane and select subline again, and make sure to connect these points, the ones in the bottom. Then select the top, then reference geometry plane, hold Ctrl and select any of these points. Start a sketch on the new plane and pick subline again and connect these points. Now everything is ready. Hide this plane and select loft. Select the first circle here and then select the second one here. Then go to guide curves and start selecting the curves one by one. Now, as you can tell, we didn't scale the pictures in the beginning, but we know that this height should be 200 millimeters. Now, let's measure the height we have. Go to measure and select this face, then select this face. And you can see here, this distance is 621.6, and we want the whole thing to be 200 millimeters. So open your calculator, and this time divide 200 by 621.62. Now this is the scale factor. You need to keep this value, so right click here and select all, then copy. Keep this number. Now from here, write scale. Make sure that the option is centroid here and uniform scaling, and then delete this value and paste the value you got from the calculator. If you face this problem, you just need to do the following. Try to remember the first four numbers, delete these, and now 0.3217, so 0.3217, then hit OK. Now try to measure the distance again. And as you can see, because we deleted some digits, we have this difference, which is 0.3%, 0.03%. So now you can solve this problem. You can say 200 divided by 199.97 and take this value. And this time you can scale your model again. Now let's see. It's 200 millimeters. This is the original model, and as you can see, we have almost the same, but we still didn't talk about these details. That was a good practice on how you can insert two images at the same time and use them with loft feature. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.